Blogs. So who here has a blog? Yay, fair number of you. Brilliant. Blogging can be a really, really good way of showing credibility. Does everybody know what a blog is? It's a 200 to 400, 500 word commentary, opinion, helpful. Different people use it for different things. If you look at my blog, I'll be telling you all about the latest updates that are happening on social media. Okay? Now, social media changes constantly, and I don't tell you about everything because I don't have time, but I try and get as much as I can. So I'm probably going to be doing one about the latest Facebook jobs that have come in recently, shortly. Chantal, what do you have in your blog?
Oh, good question. We write, it's mostly tips, so we might write something about how to do better networking. There might be, sometimes it's based on work that we're doing for a client to show the sort of stuff that we do to give people advice. So
case study type things.
Yeah, it's always based on giving advice and tips.
Yeah. Other people will just have a personal blog on their commentary, of their opinion on what's going on in the news. There's been some very successful blogs written on a very personal basis. The Julia's recipe blog made into a film. I mean, how successful could that be? Just on her experience of doing a recipe every day from the particular book. Different types of blogs, could be anything, but you need to make sure that your blog is related to your business in some form or other. There needs to be a reason for people going from your blog to your business. Okay? I would recommend your blogs are done regularly. Weekly is ideal. If you look at my blog, it's probably not done weekly. I get spurts every so often. If nothing else, do them monthly, but weekly is ideal. Who's going to be looking at your blog? Well, actually anybody. But you need to make sure that you use all of your social media to tell people about your blog. Because we can all write blogs out there, and if we keyword them properly, remember that keyword coming back in again, those blogs could be found by Google. I wrote a blog a couple of years ago about the Y upgrade to Microsoft 2010. And that came up on page 1 of Google for ages if you put that in, which was fab. And it was related to my business. Once people had gone to my blog, they then could see the rest of my business. Okay? But if you don't tell anyone about them, you won't ever get anybody looking at them. So we're going to use all of our other social networking, whether it be Twitter, whether it be LinkedIn, whether it be Facebook, whether it's our newsletters, to tell people about our blogs. Now, how do you blog? Lots of people come to these workshops and say, well, how do I do this stuff? And that's a very valid question, and I can't take you into the hows in a lot of detail now. There's 3 main ways you can do a blog. You can use, 3 main ways. You can use something like Blogger, which is a free tool that you can set up. You can use WordPress, which is a similar tool that you can set up. Or you can include a blog in your website. If you have a website made out of WordPress, then you'll automatically get a blog in that. I would recommend 99 times out of 100, if you can, you include your blog in your website. The reason for that is twofold. If you use WordPress or Blogger, they're free tools. So it's a really quick, easy, fast, cheap way of setting up a blog. But they own you. So if they decide to take down that blog, they can do so at any time without informing you. And in theory, they own the content of that blog. Now again, there hasn't been a case study, and you'll see this a lot, but if you then wanted to take that blog and do something with it, in theory, they could say that you couldn't. The other thing is you're diverting the audience. So if you're sending your audience off to a WordPress blog, then you're not sending them to your website. So you can put a link on your WordPress blog to get them to your website, but there's no real obvious connection. Whereas if you come to my blog, you'll see my branding all over it. And there's a tab next door which will take you onto the main website, which has got the home page or the products page or anything else like that. And so you haven't got that problem of diluting the audience. Okay, how are we going to measure return on investment of your blog? Any ideas? How are you going to work out, is this going to be a successful blog?
It's by how many customers you attract who came to you via the blog.
Possibly, yep. Much more basic levels, how many people looked at it? Yeah? How many people are looking at your blog? And then you can use your Google Analytics to work out, they've gone to your blog and then where else do they go on their website? Now, they may be looking at your blog because they're a regular customer and it's offering you credibility. But ultimately, they may become a customer because of your blog having created your credibility. Creating a blog takes time, so you need to make sure you're measuring it. You've got to measure return, so it's who's looked at it, how many people have commented on it. Now, remember we talked about engagement. So on your blog, we want to get engagement. So we want to make sure people comment on your blog. So at the end of every blog entry, you should create a call to action. Now that sounds a terrible marketing term, call to action. But what you're basically saying is, what do you think? Have you got any experience? Can you offer any advice? Give us your thoughts. Just asking them to put a little comment on the end of it. Once they've put a comment on the end of it, that person has taken time to put a comment on your blog. So what do you think you need to do next?
Reply.
Yeah, just go thank them. So reply to the comment. Just go on, they've put a comment, you reply to the comment and say thanks for commenting. Marriott on the Move is a really interesting blog. It's Marriott hotel chain. The MD has this blog called Marriott on the Move. And what they've done with that is they've brought a personality to the business. And so he goes around and everywhere he goes, all over the States, he talks about his experiences. And he brings some real personality, so he talks about his grandchildren in it. You know, that's up to him what he talks about. But he gets loads of comments. It's great. It's really, really short, really interesting. Go and have a look at it. And Marriott have done so well out of it because it's no longer this great big hotel chain now. They've got this person that they can talk to. And you see some of the comments, there'll be questions, there'll be all sorts of things going on. Really interesting. And Social Media Examiner is a great site. Go and register for it. It talks about social media updates. Every day they send out the latest update on social media, latest tips and tricks. They've created that blog, and the only way they get money, and they're an extremely profitable company now, is through advertising because of the number of people that go to the website. And that is their business. Social Media Examiner, it's just blogging.